The negotiating table to end the brutal war in Ukraine was set as officials from Washington and Moscow, but not Kyiv, sat down Tuesday in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, to hash out Ukraine's future. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the two sides agreed broadly on embassy staffing and on creating a high-level team for peace talks. At his estate in the U.S. state of Florida, President Donald Trump expressed optimism and batted away criticism that Ukraine should have been invited.
I think I have the power to end this war, and I think it's going very well. But today I heard, we weren't invited. Well, you've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it 3 years. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal.
Trump also noted that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's approval ratings have fallen from their sky-high levels at the start of the conflict and hinted at a negotiating condition.
When they want a seat at the table, you could say wouldn't the people of Ukraine have to say, it's been a long time since we've had an election. That's not a Russia thing. That's something coming from me and coming from many other countries also.
In the Turkish capital of Ankara, Zelensky lobbied to be included in all talks, alongside partners like the European Union and Turkey.
I am convinced that for Ukraine and for our region, for Europe, it is critical that any negotiations to end the war are not happening behind the backs of the key parties affected by the Russian aggression.
Russia's foreign minister dismissed the idea of enlarging the table.
The
European philosophy hasn't gone anywhere, so I don't know what they should do at the negotiating table. If they are going to whistle out some cunning ideas about freezing the conflict while actually intending, as is their custom, nature and habit, to continue the war, then why should we invite them at all?
Analysts say they see some logic to that, with Kyiv and Moscow so far apart.
There's a little bit of overwroughtness about how the Ukrainians are being cut out from Riyadh and so forth. It's just the situation is not entirely clear, but a parallel track diplomacy is not optimal, but not necessarily terrible, considering how far apart the sides actually are.
Trump has spoken openly about some of his terms, which some analysts question.
The one criticism that I would levy at the Trump administration is that I think it has given away too much, even before any serious discussions have taken place, saying no U.S. boots on the ground, no NATO membership. This is all putting the cart before the horse, because we need to get a deal to stop the killing.
Rubio said talks would continue, but didn't say whether the next round would include Ukraine. Anita Powell, VOA News, Washington.